Holy cow, it's 12:02. We've missed our time hack. That's okay, we'll survive. I knew I was uncomfortable. You know I like my block. This keeps my hips above my knees and lets me have a good arch in my back. Shoulders back, sternum up, hands on your knees. This is an awfully safe space, isn't it? When you're in here, nothing can really bother you, unless you want it to. If you want it to bother you, sure. If you want it to bother you, sure, but this is your safe space. Let's see, do you remember, if you've been with one of these classes before, you remember how to successfully yoga, the bare minimum of yoga success. It's linking breath to movement in one of two ways. Either movement with the breath, such as inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. That's one successful way to yoga. So, I mean, you could do it better, simple movements like that. You could make this movement extraordinarily difficult. You could make sure that your palms are together, that your biceps are trying to press on your ears, maybe even interlock those fingers and temple one of your fingers and point, sternum up, biceps on your ears, and breathe through it. You can make it really, really difficult if you want. Or just breathe and move in, out. The second way to successfully yoga is to use that breath to gain more room within a stretch. For example, inhale, like the first time, exhale, twist, and hold it right here. Left hand, right knee, right hand behind you, and just hold it and breathe through it. And every time you breathe, inhale, and when you exhale, get more room. Hold it, don't move. Inhale, exhale, get more room, more stretch. Inhale. Those are the two ways to successfully yoga. You could easily make it much more difficult or strenuous or stretchy or muscle tensing, challenging, and I support all of those options, but at very bare minimum, just do those two things to link breath to movement. And that will accomplish the mission that I have for this class. It'll get your head out of your ass. Pretty simple. So if you saw some of the promos, you remember that I said something about, well, the computer died. Awesome. If you remember the promos, I said something about the golden rule. You recall, of course, what the golden rule is. That is, treat others as you wish they would treat you. What I think is more important and more challenging is this little twist that I hinted at in that promo. Treat yourself like you would wish others to treat you. What does that mean? That means be nice to yourself. How many times a day do many of us curse ourselves or call ourselves dumb or reinforce our own programming or look at ourselves in the mirror and say, ugh, I don't like this. Don't you want your friends to have a good skincare routine and dental hygiene routine? Don't you want your best friends to brush twice a day? Don't you want your best friends and your partner and your parents to have just great teeth? Don't you want them to have great skin? You want them to wash their face with the right kind of soap twice a day, right? You want them to eat the best foods. Maybe not always the healthiest, but ones that make them feel good. And yes, a sensible diet. Wouldn't you want your mother and father to have a sensible diet at all times, at the right time of day for their body type? Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't you want your best friend to go out and treat his or her body the right way? You see your friend mistreating their machine, drinking too much, eating poorly. You don't want them to do that. But do you ever catch yourself doing those same things? Do you ever find that you're not treating yourself nearly as well as you're treating your friends? And if you have a partner or loved one, or if you'd like to have a partner or loved one, why aren't you treating yourself as well as they're treating you, or you'd like them to treat you? Isn't that weird? So, as a single person, do you mean that I need to treat myself with self-love and self-care and respect and do all those right things without anybody else's influence? Fuck that. Or maybe not. I heard this first brought up a couple weeks ago, and it blew my mind. Because I like to think I have a good diet and I treat myself well, but I'm lying to myself. I don't treat myself nearly as well as I treat my loved ones. So what am I going to do about that? That means that I'm going to continue to brush my teeth twice a day, twice a week. Hopefully more than that, twice a day. I need to do a better skincare regimen, more yoga, but what little things in your life can you do for yourself that you would like to see your friends enjoy? If you've got a friend with bad teeth or bad breath or bad posture or out of shape or driving a bad car, what of those elements irk you because they're a reflection of yourself? And what are you going to do about it? Are you going to fix your car? Are you going to work out more? Not that I'm not in perfect shape, but that whole thing, treat yourself as you wish others would treat you, with respect and dignity, with your proper pronouns, with your name properly pronounced, not Bomber, Baumer. I know, sounds funny in America, but it's not. It's not Bomber, it's Baumer. What are you going to do this week to treat yourself better, other than being here tonight? That's okay. It's time to yoga. If you are on your block, awesome. If you're not, awesome. If you need to be on a block, awesome. Use a blanket, a pillow, a cat, whatever you have handy, if you need one. Some people don't. I do, so I do. I don't have a cat. I have a block. Sternum up, shoulders back. You don't have to keep on doing this, but remember to put those shoulders back. 3-part breath. 1. We're going to be on the floor a little bit more than we have in the past. If you were with me last Wednesday, we did a couple cool things down here. We're going to do those again, just because they feel very good and stretchy for late night stuff. And the computer's dead. That's okay. Straighten them up, shoulders back. Let's fly. Before we fly though, fingertips back at you. Palms straight down to the ground. You don't have to touch. I can't because I'm up on the block. But think about it. Push, push, push. If you can push yourself up, please do so. Fingertips back at you. And just breathe through it. For me, I feel this all through my posterior deltoid, my tricep, and whatever this is, and the back of my palms. So I could touch my fingertips down. This makes me feel like an inch taller. One more. Okay. On your next inhalation, we're going to keep the right hand down, or whatever hand you want, and bring the other one over. Follow me. So, inhale. And hold it. Put it out a little bit if you want. Keep your left sit bone down on the ground and just stretch through this. You see what I'm doing? This is easy. This is more difficult for me. Gets all those intercostals and everything in the shoulder. On your next inhalation, join me back to center. And switch over. Fingertips down firmly, palm pressing down, sternum up, shoulders back, hand up. Move it out if you want. Oh, Lordy. Last one. Inhale back to center. How does that feel? I feel a lot of blood rushing to everything from here on up and out. That's good. Back, little bit. We're going to work on that right now. So inhale up. Exhale, twist. Left hand, right knee. Right hand behind you. Look over your right shoulder and stay there. Exhale, get a little bit more twist. Sternum up, shoulders back. Inhale back to center. Twist, rather, other side. My English, it is no so good. Right knee, right hand, left knee, left hand behind you. Sternum up, shoulders back, breathe. One more. Inhale back to center. And relax. If the thought were to come to you that sounds like, does this guy know what he's doing? That is a valid thought. The answer is maybe. I might know what I'm doing. How much you paying for this? Yeah, I thought so. Chin to the right. Inhale. Hold it. Next inhalation, come in to center and rotate. Exhale to the other side. Inhale back to center. Breathe. The world is reminding me of something right now. I don't know if the microphone can pick it up, but right now there are two external sounds that are invading this space. There is a train and a helicopter, in addition to the regular freeway traffic. So the helicopter sounds literally right overhead. The train is 3/4 mile, maybe 1 mile away. And there was a time in my life that I would let those intrusions bother me. And while I don't enjoy them now I'm able to acknowledge them, say hello to them, and let them go. This wasn't always the case. How many times during the course of your day do you hear or see things that bother you, that only harm you if you allow them? Somebody's late for work, or somebody's living a lifestyle that you don't like, or somebody's loud music, or any hundreds of things that people do that we don't like, and we get pissed off about it. God, that guy, if he would only, or that, I hate when people do that thing, or just nothing you could do about it. We're gonna do one more thing in the seated position. Sternum up, shoulders back. Maybe even lean forward a tiny bit for now, but the military members amongst us know this as parade rest. So hands flat on the small of your back. Sternum up, shoulders back. Shoulders firmly rotated outward if at all possible. Lean back. Actually, it doesn't matter where you go. For me, though, it seems to irk me more if I lean back. So I'll lean back. I feel this in my anterior deltoid and my upper pectoral. And at work, I carry things a lot, sometimes above my head, sometimes with two hands in front of me. So my shoulders and upper pecs get a lot of work. One more. Press more on the exhale. Oh, love it. And inhale. And on this last one, make silly faces. Open your eyes and mouth widely. It's okay. Nobody's looking. It's not like you're live on YouTube or anything. Alrighty, time to move. Get this block out of the way. Meet me in a tabletop position, please. Oh, look at this cute little mosquito that was trying to kill me. meow and moo. And I won't even explain that. You'll know what I'm talking about if you've been here before. Hands underneath your shoulder. Knees underneath your hips are a little wider. Cow. Exhale. Inhale to cat. Press away. All 10 fingers in your palms. 3 of these. Rotate your hips with each one. Last one. Rather, keep your knees to the outside. Bring those toes together and meet me in a child's pose. Your choice. Easy is forearms down, hips up, far and back. Throw them out and rest your head. Difficult or more difficult is palms down, all 10 fingers engaged with the mat. Try to keep your entire upper body in line. This is excruciating, but in the best possible way. And it's at the limit of physical exertion that I want for us in our midnight yoga classes. So feel free to go the easier route. It still does a great stretch in your back. And whether you're doing the easy or the hard, bring yourself to the far right side of your mat and look over your right shoulder. Press your left hip to the rear. You're going to feel this here. Excuse me. Inhale and bring it to the left side of your mat. Push the right hip rearward. Oh, it's more strenuous if you've got your hands and fingers engaged. But even like this, you can get a great stretch on your hips and your ribs and your deltoids. Inhale back to center. All right. More of a balance thing than a stretch. So it's a little strenuous, tiny bit. All 10 fingers engaged, knees down, feet down. But put your weight on your left hand. Bring that right hand forward and your left knee back. Apparently my space is too narrow, but you get the idea. I could totally cheat. Cheat if you want, but get those toes out. Boy, this is really shitty. Anyways. Right hand, right fingers far out. Left toes as far out as the side of the sunroom will allow. And just breathe in and out 3 times. Exhale back to center. Rotate, or rather switch balance. Left knee, right hand. Inhale. Last one. And maybe down at center. And this tabletop position, I'm going to give you 30 seconds or so, maybe 45, to just move. This is a long work week for me. This is my 5th day of work, and I've got one more tomorrow, and I'm feeling super tight in weird ways, in weird places. So I encourage you, if you're going to bed soon, to use this as just some free time to stretch. For some reason, this twist feels wonderful. So I want to do it symmetrically. What feels good for you? All right, maybe back in tabletop. We're going to do one more here, then we'll move on. Plant that right hand, left hand, twist. Get your shoulder as far back as you can, and then bring that left hand up. And then just breathe through it. One more. Exhale down. And then inhale up. Other side. And down on your next exhalation. Down dog. Down dog can be a very, very, very strenuous position, and it could be used as a base for a lot of other positions. But because it's potentially strenuous, we're not going to do a whole lot with it other than use it as an opportunity to stretch. So hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips, toes curled under in whatever way is good for you. Get those hips back. Kind of keep your head up enough that you could look at your hands. Bend your knees, or don't bend your knees, or bend one at a time and walk the dog. Oh, did you hear that? This is free stretch time. Knee in, or rather knee out, knee in. Whatever you need. And then when you're done, bring it back down to child pose. Yeah, down dog is considered a rest position, but it's a great position from which to start doing a whole bunch of strenuous things that we don't do at Midnight Yoga. So when you're prepared again, join me in down dog. And then bring your hands back to your feet and meet me in a squat. I'm going to rotate for your benefit. Some of you, hello, may be able to get your heels on the ground. I can't very easily. Some can, some can't. I can with assistance, but it's strenuous, which is not the game or goal for tonight. So get in a comfortable squat. If you need to cheat with a block or two, please do so. If this gets too strenuous, just stop it. Get out, lower your knees, and join me in what I'm about to do. Sternum up, shoulders back. Use a mat, use a block if you wish. Go into the ground if you can. I'm going to use the block on the short setting. Sternum up, shoulders back. Right hand down, left hand up, right knee with the right elbow. and back to center. I'm going to give an opportunity for a break here because that can be strenuous for some. I was doing okay, but for others, can I cheat? There's no cheating. Cheat all you want. We're going to get back on our feet in the squat position on the other side. Do you see me in the mirror here? Hey. So, back into the squat, other side, same thing, sternum up, shoulders back, hand firmly on the ground, or block, or block, or block, whatever you want. Left elbow inside the left knee, right hand up. And you may notice my asymmetry here. I think I could get less height on this side. Last one. Okay, get rid of the block. Hands on the ground. Firm. Bring yourself up until your heels are on the ground. And then all 10 toes and palms planted. All 10 fingers and palms planted. Press up. Try to get as much arc in your back as you can. And just breathe through it. Last one. Don't come up yet, but try to get those feet parallel and just hang. Oof. We'll do more down here in just a moment, but for now, bend those knees, but come up one vertebrae at a time. Oh, sweet baby Jesus. We're going to do another one of those, kind of a half sun salutation. Get in mountain pose, get your feet planted firmly at shoulder width apart, or hip width apart. My English is a not so good. So sternum up, shoulders back, up to a mountain pose, and then down. And just hang again. We're not doing a full sun salutation, but if you can get down here, if you have to widen your feet because of, that's okay. Bend those knees. Put your fingers under your toes. And just kind of straighten up. Breathe through this. Maybe put emphasis on one side or the other. Oh, Lordy. And then release. And then come up one vertebrae at a time. Oh, cool, huh? My last name, I think I've mentioned this before, is Baumer. Tree, he of the trees. So I love the tree pose. For our midnight yoga classes, we're not going to do the very difficult ones. You can make it more difficult if you wish by bringing the sole of your foot high up into your inner thigh. Go for it if you want, but another option is to just put it on the calf, or what I recommend for tonight is the simplest, the kickstand. And you can do that with me. So, sternum up, feet shoulder width apart, hips forward, pelvis rotated forward. Weight firmly on the left foot. And kickstand yourself. Right toes on the ground, right heel on the inside of the thighs. Or what's that thing? The calf, the left calf. Sternum up, shoulders back. Cactus. And just breathe through it. Or, remember what I said earlier about making it difficult? Get those hands together. Maybe a finger up. Put your biceps into your ears. And just breathe through it. I'm feeling this a lot around my shoulder girdles and my upper back. And of course my bicep. Last one. Switch sides. Put all that emphasis on the right foot or the other foot. Left, right, whatever. Do the opposite of the first one. All five toes engaged. Get all these left 5 toes engaged. Heel onto the right ankle. Sternum up. Shoulders back into cactus. Or if you wish, up top. Sternum up, sternum up, sternum up. Very important. One more. Next exhalation. Meet me back in center. Just chill. What do we got? You figured out by now that I don't memorize my classes. Okay. We're going to do a half sun salutation, but we're not going to come back up. We're going to go into a seated position. So, mountain. Sternum up, shoulders back. Inhale. Forward hanging fold. And just, we're going to stay here for a couple of breaths. Inhale, hands to shins, sternum up. Exhale, get back down into a seated position. And I think we're running long on time today. So I'm going to skip something that I planned and do it next time. Bless me. I wanted to do some things laying on the ground, but that's all right. We're done with the hard part. I've told you about my butterfly and wildflower theory, right? Butterfly. An upset or sad or angry butterfly or cold butterfly flaps its wings more quickly. But a calm, happy, warm butterfly on a wildflower flaps its wings more slowly. So, your breath and its pace will determine how happy the butterfly is. Sternum up, shoulders back, pelvis rotated forward. Or, pelvis rotated rearward. We're going to breathe, 3-part breath, as the butterfly would. Inhale. Hold it. Inhale. Hold it. One more. Inhale. Exhale. And now this time without movement. Do it at your own pace. Inhale, hold, exhale. In, hold, X. Last thing, alternate nostril breathing. Maybe in another midnight yoga session, I'll show you how to hold your nostrils, but we're not going to do that now. We're not going to do that now. I want you to think about it. I want you to think about breathing in this air and exhaling it on this side. I want you to concentrate on inhaling on one side, exhaling on the other. A little bit of hold in between. So, excuse me, allergies. Whatever's down here, inhale. Let's do about 5 or 6 of those. Your own pace. Switch it up if you want. One more. Now, when you actually hold your nostrils, it's much easier to physically feel it, but, no but, I just think it's weird. I think it's a good weird to think about the oxygen, to think about controlling your breathing well enough to channel it. Whatever, I'm a weirdo. What's going on in the space outside of you? What do you hear? I hear traffic. I don't hear the train anymore. I don't hear an airplane. I don't hear a helicopter. Just the traffic. Traffic on 880, about a mile away. I hear it, I acknowledge it, and let it go. What do I hear inside my space? I hear one insect knocking itself against the windows over there. You can't see it. It's one of those crane flies, those big mosquito-looking things called a crane fly. Not very bright, but I say hello to him and I let him go. How does my body feel? Anything sore or asymmetrical? Yeah, feel good. I feel warmth up here because I think we did a little bit more up here than we normally do, or at least I did. And that's that. The golden rule. Asterisk. Treat yourself as you would wish others to treat you, with kindness and respect. Enough with the negative self-talk. Don't dissect yourself in front of the mirror. Brush your teeth twice a day. Make your bed. Find a good skin lotion. But more importantly than that, don't hate yourself. Don't disrespect yourself. Treat your body better than you might currently be doing so. I'm one to talk, huh? But it's hard. I acknowledge that it's hard. I am living proof that life is hard. Anyways, Sunday, May 16th, Midnight Yoga, 17th now. Thank you very much for joining me. I see a couple comments. I see a couple thumbs up and hearts. Bless your hearts. I appreciate your visits. I appreciate your support, and I truly hope that I created a few minutes where you could just chill. Now, go have some tea, go to bed. Get a good foot lotion, maybe. Nice scented foot lotion. Huh? You ever done that? That's a good one. I got one of those. Lavender. Anyways, I'm Dan. I am old as fuck, and I look forward to seeing you on Wednesday.